All of the Shropshire Hills offer their own unique beauty, but if you're looking for one that has a more rugged, craggy, and oftentimes treacherous landscape, then there is one obvious choice. So we're at Stiperstones today. It is an absolutely stunning day. Don't let the sun fool you, it is really cold. I've got absolutely no plan of what we're going to do today. I spent ages trying to think of an idea that I could do here that would, make the YouTube video interesting, but then I just thought, not every YouTube video needs a point, and I just kind of want to go for a walk, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do Stiperstones, check out some of the landscape up there. But before we go up to Stiperstones, when I was driving up, there are some absolutely incredible views the other way, where the frost is on all the hills from how cold it was last night. So I'm going to check that out first, and then we'll head up Stiperstones. Well, that was a pretty cool start to the walk. I'm going to head back to the car now and actually begin heading up Stiperstones, which is obviously the reason we came. Shouldn't be hugely challenging walk. I think, if I remember rightly, I've done this quite a few times from here, but the beginning is always the hardest part, and it's not even that hard really. It's just a sort of steep, like a semi-steep ascent to the top. This was never going to be like a super hard walk that I'm challenging myself for. It was more just, getting out there. So that's sort of the first checkpoint up the really hard bit, and to be honest, it's not hard. It's just, if it's the first thing you do when you first get to the hike, and you've been sat in a car for an hour and a half, your legs are stiff, they're not warm, it feels really tough. So it's not too bad, but I'm boiling now, so I'm going to take off my only jacket, have a little bit of a drinks break, and it's lovely because there's no wind up here at all. So honestly, this is actually probably the perfect condition for hiking. It's cold, but not so cold that you won't just warm up as you start walking anyway. It's sunny, a little bit of frost gives you some really sort of spectacular views. No wind. I said this already, but I'm so glad I decided to come out today. Stiperstones does really have some amazing views. It's got a certain rugged landscape that you don't really find, I don't think, at too many of the other Shropshire Hills. The issue is, it's actually pretty hard to admire them because you're constantly walking over these jagged rocks. You're trying your best to not roll your ankle after every step, but you can stop every now and then and have a little glance at the views. If you plan on hiking at Stiperstones, you should know that there reaches a point around halfway through where you face this crack on the wall and realise this is the only way forward. And if you choose to take the risk and go through the crack, it's a gamble on your life every single time. I will do it now, obviously for you to witness, you know. So it's not for the light-hearted. Wish me luck. As you can see, it's a tight squeeze. The air gets quite thin. It's really hard, you have to move in between each breath. No. Foot's stuck. It's stuck. I don't know if I'm going to make it out of this. Oh, I must have passed out. I made it. What a terrifying experience. So we've been across the top of Stiperstones now, the sort of whole way, and now done a bit of a 180, heading back towards the car, just below the sort of the top ridge. Bit of a shorter walk. Oh, hang on. Oh yeah. Sorry. A bit of a shorter walk this time. A little bit short on time today, but this is exactly what I was looking for, really. I was just doing a little bit of reflecting because there was a really cool bird that just flew over and I couldn't get the camera out in time to film it, and I was momentarily kind of annoyed, where I was thinking, yeah, damn, you know, I missed this really cool shot that would have been great on the YouTube video. And you know, what I'm trying to get better at is understanding that, you know, it doesn't matter really, you know, if those things get missed, you know, maybe that particular moment, that particular shot wasn't for YouTube and it wasn't for this video, you know, maybe that moment was for me. And how cool is that? You know, I'm the only person in the world that experienced that moment, you know, and the same goes for everything, right? You know, even a bit earlier when I was watching that deer, you know, and it was really close and it was a really interesting encounter, and I am the only person in the world that experienced that moment and will be the only ever person in the world to experience that moment. And isn't that cool? I don't know, maybe that's stupid, but I was just thinking about it, thought I'd share my thoughts with you. Basically back at the start now, car is just parked down there, so I think I'll probably end the video here. Thanks for coming along and watching the video. I really appreciate it. Lovely little walk, you know, it was quite nice having absolutely no plan. I touched on that maybe when we first got here, the sometimes just not having a plan and just going out and just doing stuff is just the way to go, honestly. But please feel free to subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed and you want more. If there's anything in particular that you enjoy or you want to see, let me know. And I'll see you in the next one.